Alright YouTubers, how are we doing? Uncle Dave with DC's Adventures, and I'm coming to you with a video featuring this here backpacker's cache, also known as the Bear Canister. Bear canisters are pretty useful and a necessity in some cases. We're going to talk about that right now. This is pretty much your typical standard bear canister here, and this one weighs about 2 to 2.5 pounds, which you might say, holy cow, why would you carry that giant plastic heavy canister? Why wouldn't you just hang your stuff in a tree? Well, let's talk about this for a second here. Opens like this. You put it on here. You can put a coin in it, which sometimes is kind of hard to find when you're out hiking, because you might realize, oh, I didn't bring any coins, but you can use your knife too. And you just turn that, and that'll lock it shut. And just like so, do it to the other one. And then your stuff is safe from bears, but it's also safe from chipmunks and squirrels and rats and mice and everything like that. When you're hiking the Appalachian Trail, those lean-tos that they have set up are just full of rats and mice these days from people leaving too much food and trash around for them. So it helps there. They can't get into this. They can, I guess, if they had a whole day of chewing, they could chew a hole in it eventually, but the bears can't get into it no matter how much they crush it. And as far as why you would carry this, well, in most national parks you have to carry one of these. And I think there's a couple others that will pass, but this is the one that they really want you carrying, because they've trained the bears to know what this is. So when the bears see one of these, they know they can't get into it, so there's no reason to even try to get the food in there, because they know they can't get into it, so they don't even bother it. Another thing is, in Sequoia and Yosemite National Park, when you're there, you got to remember, most of the trees that you have to hang your stuff from, the closest branch to the ground is about 150, 200 feet off the ground. So, yeah, you probably aren't going to launch a rope up there and hang your food. Also, something to think about is that those are all black bears in those areas, and those animals can climb trees. So if they're shorter trees, there's a good chance that the bear can just climb up it. And that's just not how they're trying to train the bears at the national parks. They really want the bears to recognize the case and know that they can't get into it, so then they just don't mess with the hikers and they don't mess with the food. This thing is no way to anchor it down, so yeah, I mean, a bear can, if a bear doesn't recognize it or really wants whatever's in it, they might knock it around. You might have to hike around for a little while looking for your canister, because they might have knocked it around. It's just wide enough that a black bear can't get it in his mouth, so he can't really carry it around anywhere with him, but he can knock it around. It can fit quite a bit of stuff. You open it up. Right now I have all kinds of stuff in here, and a mountain house, some backpackers pantry meals in here, 3 pounds of rice, tons of oatmeal, and just the stuff that I usually carry when I'm backpacking. This thing right now is packed for probably 5 or 6 days, but I would also need to get a large bag of granola I would usually carry with what's in here now. It's mostly just rice and a couple of meals that you can cook with just add water, some of the backpacker meals, and lots of oatmeal. Enough oatmeal so I can have oatmeal every morning that I'm out. So here it is, the backpacker's cache. This particular one I bought in Yosemite back in 2008, I think, and it was $75. This one is pretty expensive, but I bought it at the park. I actually bought it from the park. I bought it at the National Park Service. I figured that whatever money they make off of it goes to a pretty good cause. And every year I also buy a pass to all the national parks. Even if I'm not planning on going to them, I usually buy one of the $80 passes just to donate $80 to the National Park System, because it's pretty much the only government agency that is doing what it needs to be doing, as far as I'm concerned. But this thing's really heavy, an extra 2 pounds. I mean, all the food that you have in here probably weighs just a little bit more than the case itself, so it's really hard to carry that if you're an ultralight hiker. Most people don't want to carry that, and I didn't want to carry it. The first time I went to Yosemite, I told the guy he was crazy when he told me I was going to carry that into the backcountry, and he also told me I had to leave a $70 deposit with him or buy one. And I was really peed off. I told him I was going into the backcountry either way, and then he told me if he caught me out there without a canister, he was going to give me a $1,000 fine. So I was like, alright, well, I guess I won't do that. And I didn't do a trip that day, that week, because I didn't even have the extra $70 on me. Like, I didn't bring enough money to even buy food and do all that. I was really broke and backpacking around, and went to Yosemite. I've been to Yosemite like 7 times now, and it's definitely my favorite park in the entire country. And I've been to all of them except for the last one I've got on my list is Yellowstone. I should probably be doing that this summer sometime, or maybe in fall. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out right now. But there we are, the Backpacker's Cache. This is the official. This is what they want you using at the national parks. I know a bunch of companies make different ones, but they want you using this one right here because the bears recognize it, and this is what they've trained the bears with. It's an extra 2.5 pounds, but you're gonna have to just find some sort of luxury that you don't want to take. Something that's also great is you have this huge bucket. I mean, it is a bucket, so it's like 2.5 gallons, I think, or maybe even more than that. I think it's 2.5 gallons, 3 gallons. And I often, when I'm on long-term backpacking, when I'm out there for weeks at a time, I wash laundry in that thing. I haul water from the river. I do all the stuff that I would need to do with a bucket. I use that thing as my bucket when I'm at base camp, and it works great. It makes carrying the extra weight more practical once you're using it for other things. Well, there we go. Once again, the Backpacker's Cache, aka the Bear Canister. This is Uncle Dave, DC's Adventures. Thank you for joining me on this video. Make sure you're subscribed, leave an awesome comment below, and rate. And we'll see you on the next one. And I just wanted to remind everybody here at the end, the real reason why we're carrying this 2.5 pounds here is to save the bears, because really, when bears get too used to getting food from a camper's area, they either have to be captured and brought out to a backcountry that they don't know and dropped off and hope that they don't come back. And if they do keep coming back, they're usually shot and killed because they can't control that animal, and that animal's just gotten so used to humans. So if we all have these, they'll just recognize them and they'll know they can't get into it, and they'll leave it alone. That's just the plan here, you know. So thanks again for joining us. See you in the next video.